Hello, lovely people. Today I want to show you a really fun project that you can do with a few simple materials. This is Dischidia mounted on a piece of wood, so it's a Dischidia plaque. So as it grows, it holds onto the moss. I'm going to show you how to make that. So come on with me. Let's go see. All right, so to get started, we're definitely going to need a Dischidia plant. I think this one is Ruscifolia. That's one variety or species that you could use. This is Oeantha variegated, another nice one. We're going to use this one today. I use this twine, anything really to hold the plaque up. Scissors, obviously, and sphagnum peat moss, staple gun, very helpful for this project, and where's it hiding? This thread is also great. You can substitute other materials for this project. These are some materials that I'm using, but you know, you can use fishing line. There's a lot of other things you can use. So don't feel limited by what I'm showing here. You can do this without a staple gun. The staple gun just makes it a little easier. All right, so let's get started. All right, so some of the materials we're gonna use today, a Dischidia plant. That is something that you have to have for this project. This is Oeantha variegated. For this little guy, boom, right there, I use Ruscifolia, I think it's called. There's a few other types that are pretty cool. Let's see, I've got Imbricata right here. This is another one that I want to do that same thing with because I think it'll be cool. So you're gonna need a piece of wood. For this one, I'm using a piece that looks like this. You don't have to use a piece that looks like this. You can use a piece that looks like something else. But the plant itself is, you know, fairly small that I'm using, so I'm going to be using a fairly small plaque. Long fiber sphagnum peat moss. Staple gun is very handy for this project. Thread is also handy. You could use fishing line. And I've got this twine just to make a little loop to hold up the plaque. Some scissors. So first thing we're going to do is cut, kind of like figure out what the plant, you know, how we want to lay it out on the plaque, and then cut the plant. Got my pieces cut, and now I'm going to put the sphagnum peat moss onto the wood. And to do that, we want to make sure that it's damp because it's easier to work with when it's damp. And we want to make sure we have enough of it to go on there. I might not, so I'll be right back with a little bit more peat moss. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. All right, so it's gonna look messy, but I'm just gonna cover this whole thing with peat moss, and then I'm gonna staple it, and it's not all gonna stay on. So you'll see in a minute. One of the things I noticed is that if I press too hard on the stapler, it kind of just cuts through the peat moss and doesn't hold it on. So I try to angle the stapler in a way that it's actually like leaving a little bit of room for the peat moss and not just like cutting it in half. That looks pretty good. Now I like to go around and trim the edges so they look fancier. Okay, and I want to try to get it centered as much as I can. And then I'm just going to staple that down. I usually put at least 2 staples in there. Maybe 3. Alright, oh, that looks so sturdy. I like to keep my thread in a cup, that way it doesn't roll away. And you can attach your thread somewhere. I usually just start it by attaching it to the back. And I would have preferred kind of a tan color, but I didn't have that color. So I have this kind of light pinkish color, which is also fine. And better to use polyester thread than cotton, because cotton will degrade, whereas polyester will last a lot longer. Oh, but it will break. Okay, we're not going to pull it too tight like last time and break it. I'm going to lay our cute little plant on here, being very careful that we don't break her. So 2 rows or 1? I don't know. I think it's either way is kind of cute. I guess I'll do 2 rows. So at this point, you know, it's pretty easy. Just carefully wrap the Dischidia. Like I said, you can use a number of different materials. You don't have to use thread. I find that thread's just a little easier than using fishing line. There's other things you can use too. But if there's another material that somebody else is using that's even easier than this, I would love to know. I think there probably is. Alright, and then I'm done. I'm just gonna cut. This is where I wish I had another set of hands, because this part is, I would say, annoying to do by myself. But I'm gonna try it, because I think a lot of the time we're by ourselves and we don't have another person to hold that thing, even though we wish we did. So, you know, it's good to figure it out. So I'm gonna just wrap it twice. I'm basically just gonna make a knot. I'm gonna cut this a little shorter. Hey, where'd you go? There you are. Okay, I have so many threads that I don't, this is a part where I'm like, oh my god, this is so annoying. I just need you to go through one of those. I'm not a thread person. I'm a plant person who has to work with thread. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm breathing hard here. This is some serious business. This last little part is the most annoying part, really. If you can get this down, you can do anything in life, really. I mean, this is like top of the mountain. Okay, so completed. Completed. They're so cute. You can see, they're so cute, and you can see why you need to make these. So care for these guys. Obviously at some point it's going to keep growing. You can wrap it, just keep wrapping it. That's one way to deal with, you know, it getting longer. Or you can cut once it grows longer. You're going to want to put this in the shower once in a while, or spray it under the, you know, in the sink, and keep misting it. I think the bathroom is a great place for it, or near a humidifier. so that they can stay moist. My favorite word, moist. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that video, and tell me about your Dischidia Plaque if you made one, or if you grow plants up a moss pole or anything like that. I'd love to hear about it. So until next time, subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you soon. Bye.